Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers again with Green Akers Pest Control, and I think I'm here. New setup, whole new thing going on tonight, so hopefully there won't be too many hiccups. I got a new system in place because I wanted to make sure everything would work well, so everyone would understand everything that I'm doing, that you'll be able to see everything I'm doing, that I'm watching it. So if I'm a little preoccupied, I want to make sure that everything shows up so you guys get a great picture tonight and that you get really good information. Hey Eggbeard. So there may be a little bit of a delay because I'm going through Streamlabs tonight, and I want to make sure that everything works well and that chat comes up on the screen and everything like it's doing, which is fantastic. So I am going to be commenting, hopefully, there will be a little bit of a delay. So if I say, like I said, hey Eggbeard, it's the text, really wasn't up just then. So just hopefully everything works well. Hopefully it all goes to the way I want it to. So tonight we're going to talk about Apprehend. So this is a pesticide that's been around. It's a fairly new pesticide that I was asked to do today. Hey Angie. And by a lady actually asked me if I would go over this tonight on live stream for everybody. So let's talk about what Apprehend is. So let me go ahead and share my screen. This is a screen from my other computer, my other monitor right here. So Apprehend is a newer pesticide. So what it is it's actually a mold spore. Hey James, it's a mold spore. It provides control, as you see here, it provides control for up to 3 months, which is amazing. That's great. So if anybody's been on my stream for very long, they know that I use crossfire. So crossfire, I like crossfire because I find that it is very effective. I really haven't had any reason to change, but I like to continue to always keep up to breast on what all is new, all the new pesticides that are available to the public, to me. Now Apprehend is something that's only available to technicians, and the reason that I was asked to go over this pesticide tonight on stream is because it's something that is being used by the overall community, pest control community. A lot of people are using it, and they're about to do I think it is a school. They want to use it in like a dormitory, and the lady was asking me if it was safe, if it's something that she should ask her exterminator more about, and so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this tonight. So it provides control for up to 3 months. No mixing or dilution is required. So it comes already pre-mixed, all ready to go. You just add it to your sprayer and it's good to go, which I'm going to get into that. You can't use your sprayer. It's low odor, non-repellent, which just like crossfire is very low odor, non-repellent. It's ready to use biological, and I'm not going to say that word because I know I can't say that word because I can't say it. I just can't say it. But for the control and prevention of bed bugs. So it's a biological pesticide. So what it is it's the active ingredient. So this is it's a mold. So is what it is. It's a mold spore. I'll just say that. I don't know. I'm not good with the scientific names of, different products and stuff like that. But it is a mold spore. So it contains a minimum of a 2.2 by 10 to the 9th power viable spores per milliliter of product. So it tells you that's how many spores they're actually giving you in a bottle. So it's actual mold spores. So right off the bat, this sends up a red flag to me because mold is something you really don't want in your home. And let me go over here. See if I can find, here is the Apprehend site. Let me put this over here too, so I can show you this. Oh wow, that's really, let me see if I can shrink my picture down a little bit. There we go. Alright. So, this is how you order Apprehend. So So this is just the order page. I went to look at it because someone had told me that it was only available to people like me, you know, licensed exterminators, and that's true, because it says here you can log in here, call us here, email here, contact one of our authorized distribution channels, okay? And then it says to become a direct customer, please provide details of your applicator's license, business, and shipping information in the form below, or contact your favorite rep from one of these authorized distributors listed below. So you have to have a license. Basically, they're telling you we're not going to sell it to you unless you have a license. So this is not a do-it-yourself show. This is really more of an educational show. Try to explain to you how Apprehend works and whether you should or should not. You know, I think the homeowner should be informed. I think you should be informed, and yes, I see you eyes. I think you should be informed on what to use, how to use things, what people are using in your place of business, in your home. You know, I think you should be educated. So this is what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. So anyway, the products. So when you go to the product page and you see the Apprehend, you see this page. Now this is what Apprehend looks like. Looks a lot like a bottle of Crossfire, honestly. It's not a very big bottle. It's only 16 ounces. Crossfire bottle's 13 ounces. So there's only 3 more ounces in a bottle of Apprehend than there is a bottle of Crossfire. But the thing is this tool right here, it looks like a paint sprayer gun. So you know how, you know, see how it's got the little nozzle and everything? It looks like something you would use to spray paint with. So if you were to paint the walls of your home or something like that, you could put paint in the little plastic bottle there and you could paint your house. So that's what it is. It's a very low volume spray kit with a waste pouch. So this specific type of an applicator, you can't use a regular sprayer. Like you can't go to Walmart, a Home Depot, or somewhere and buy a garden sprayer and use Apprehend. It will not work, because what it does is it kills the spores. So the spores of the mold have to stay alive. It's an active culture. It's alive. So you spray it on the bed, and what it does is when the bed bugs crawl through it, let's see if I can show you, because the site has changed so much from the way it was before, and I can't find, because I've already looked into this. I looked into this like over a year ago because I was considering switching to it, because I always like to, like I said, I'll always like to keep up on every new thing that's out on the market, everything people are using, and the exterminators are getting really good results. So if an exterminator comes into your home and they say they want to kill your bed bugs with Apprehend, so this is a bed bug show, by the way. This is what we're talking about tonight, is bed bugs. So if your exterminator wanted to come in and use Apprehend to kill the bed bugs, it will absolutely work really, really well. Now, that's the truth. Apprehend is actually a really good pesticide for bed bugs. And this is from people that I talk to, that I converse with about the bed bug epidemic that we're faced with in the country. And I find that it's very effective on bed bugs. So if you live in Canada and you're having problems with bed bugs, you can't get Crossfire in Canada. This would be another option that you could ask your exterminator, can you use Apprehend? Because it does have a very good residual. It lasts for 90 days, and it does kill bed bugs. The problem is even though it's very effective, it is minor to major irritant for human beings. So it's very hard to find a lot of information on Apprehend. So the way that you figure it out, the way that you look it up, is I pulled this label. Now this label is actually on their website. So if you go to their website, on the Apprehend website, and you go over to, let's see, resources, and you go to documents, you can scroll down here and you can actually see Apprehend label. So that's where I pulled this label from. They're actually the Apprehend website. So you read here and you see that this is the actual name. So this is your active ingredient. This is the name of the mold spore here. So that's what you do. You highlight that, you copy that, and you paste it. And you see what you can find. And you go and you search through. So this is a study that I pulled from, it's the University of Florida. There was a study done on, it's the presented to the Graduate School of the University of Florida in partial fulfillment. So this is the studies of the fungus. I am not going to try to pronounce these words. These words are well beyond my pay grade. But basically, they did a study on that specific type of fungus because they're using it in, or mold or whatever it is, fungus, whatever. Because they've started using it specifically for things like bed bugs. And it's not used just on bed bugs. It's used in other things too. So they use it not only just for bed bugs, but it's used in gardens and things like that. So we go, if we scroll down in this is 105 pages. It's a document, but I think when you pull it up in an actual PDF, it's even more pages than that. But no, it's 105. So we saved it here, and I scrolled down to about page 51, and you read about the testing. So this is when they were testing the mold itself, or the fungus. They, while testing a sample population was small, the results indicated that our extracts were able to elicit allergic reactions in individuals, including some that have had occupational exposure to the fungus. So they found that when using this specific type of fungus, people actually had allergic reactions to the fungus. And this is from people that are not only exposed to it, but people that are actually applying it, people that are using it, people that are around it. So people like me, because I'm the one that has to get a hold of it, I'm the one that has to use it, and that's what they're going over in this certain document here. And it says concentration, it gives you the concentration and everything. And it said, interestingly, not all individuals specifically exposed to the fungus displayed allergic reactions. So what they're trying to say is some people have allergic reactions, some people do not. So it's one of those things that I feel like with my company, where I stand right now, and if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask any questions at all. But and they also say here, if you go down, it says, we do not, however, have any quantifiable index of exposure for the individuals in our sample, and any interpretation should be made with some caution. So even though it's a fairly safe fungicide, even though it's, or not fungicide, but fungus, even though it's a fairly safe fungus pesticide, they're saying you should still use caution. You should still be careful when you're applying it, which is why the label says caution. So it actually has a signal word on the label. So this is a signal word of Apprehend. So let's see if we do a Google. We go to Google and we search crossfire label, which I search this all the time. So I got Do Your Own Pest Control right there, right on the page. So let's go there and we'll scroll down to, this is different. Ads everywhere. There we go. Crossfire. All right. Now, right here on the label of Apprehend, keep out of reach of children. Caution. Shake well. Do not dilute this product. Okay. When you go to Crossfire, it says keep out of reach of children. That's it. That means Crossfire does not have a signal word. This word right here, caution, that is a signal word. So in pest control products, you have different words to signal to the applier of the pesticide that this might be a pesticide you want to be careful with. And yes, while all pesticides, you should always be careful with all pesticides, this one does not have a signal word, which is why it is such a safe pesticide. It doesn't have caution, warning, danger. None of the signal words are located on this label at all because it's fairly non-toxic to mammals. So it's extremely safe. Although Apprehend, even though they claim, if you read the study, that it is mostly safe, it's still enough of a irritant to have a signal word like caution written on it. So that's another reason that I don't really like using Apprehend, because to use Apprehend, they expect you to spray the bed. So if you scroll down, it says here, if I could get this stupid thing. Okay, while handling this product, wear a long sleeve shirt, long pants, socks, shoes, barrier laminate, nylon rubber, neoprene rubber, or Vitron gloves. and a not approved particulate respirator. All right, so you have to wear a respirator just to apply this chemical. When you go over to Crossfire, and this is for application, directions for use, let's see where they got the PPE. This product is not to be used on animals. Do not apply. Okay, read entire label. Shake well before use. Use restrictions. See, now I'm trying to find it. I know it's on here because I read this whole label one time before on stream for you guys. Okay, applicators and other handlers must wear long sleeve shirt, long pants, and shoes and socks. That's it. That's it. That's all they require that you wear based on the label. So I always tell people, follow your labels. Always follow your labels. So that's it. That's all they require that you have on a label of Crossfire. And on a label of Apprehend, they want you to wear a long sleeve shirt, long pants, socks, shoes, barrier laminate, nylon rubber, neoprene rubber. So they're telling you have to wear gloves. They ask you to wear a respirator with an R or a P filter. Like so with the COVID thing going around now, people have these different. So everybody wants an N95 mask. So that's the level of particulate. The 95 is the level of particulate that's going to be allowed in, and the letter is for the type of particulate it's trying to block. So an N is water-based, where a P is oil-based. And so that's why they want you to wear an R or a P filter. That's the letter on the filter. So approved powered air purifying respirator with the HE filter and approval rubber prefix, yes. So basically they're saying that it's dangerous to breathe it in. You've got to be really careful around it because it is a mold spore or a fungus spore. You need to be very careful breathing it in. And follow the manufacturer's instructions for cleaning and maintaining PPE, so protective equipment. And then it tells you how to apply and everything. So I feel like Apprehend personally is not something that I would use, to answer your question, because this is from somebody that actually asked me to go over this today on stream. So I think I've done a pretty good job going over how I believe this should be done. So let me go back to, I've got lots of people have messaged me and talking to me on the chat channel, and I haven't been acknowledging everybody. I've seen everything, but I wanted to go over that first because I promised that I would, and I did it at the very beginning of the stream. So now that that's over with, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to answer anything. I hope I did that the best I could. So let's talk about these message. So, yes, the name of the fungus is definitely a tongue twister. What's good? Thank you. I got bedbugs 3 months ago from Jabril Muhammad. I got bedbugs 3 months ago and Crossfire and sprayed for 3 treatments. The big went away when I bought the bed spring and bed encasements. They have come back 2 months later. What do I do? So if I understand correctly what you're asking, you've treated 3 times and they went away for 2 months and now they're back. I'd treat again. What I tell people, one of the number one questions I get asked is, how do I know the bed bugs are gone? How do I know what you've done is, that I don't have bed bugs anymore? And what I always tell people, and what I've come to understand is the industry standard, is you tell people to give it at least 30 days. If you haven't been bit or had a problem with bed bugs in the 30-day period, the bed bugs are probably dead. And that's if you're using a non-repellent like Apprehend or Crossfire, because a non-repellent, and the reason you want to use a non-repellent is because you don't want to inhibit the desire of the bed bug to feed. So the bed bugs naturally are going to come out to feed on you because you're there in the room. And they're not going to be deterred from coming out to feed on you because you've used Crossfire or Apprehend, something that's non-repellent, so the bed bugs don't actually see the chemical. You're the food source. You put a barrier around the food source, which is your mattress, and you've treated your mattress, you treated your box spring, headboard, footboard, bed rails, your baseboards, all the places that the bed bugs could possibly travel through to get to you have been taken care of, and then they die on their way to you. So that's why Crossfire works so well. That's why I recommend Crossfire, because it doesn't really inhibit the natural desire of a bed bug to feed, which I find to be extremely effective on not just bed bugs, but it works well on ants, it works well on termites, it works well on lots of bugs, cockroaches and stuff. You don't want to chase the bugs all over the place. So if you buy pesticides at Walmart, or if you use diatomaceous earth, you're going to chase the bed bugs really bad, and they're not going to want to go through the chemical. They're going to want to avoid it. And when you do a crossfire treatment, the type of treatment that I recommend and the type of treatment that I provide my customers is a non-repellent treatment. That's the way I attack bed bugs, is with a non-repellent. And that's how you notice the Apprehend label. It's a newer pesticide, but it says right on the label it's a non-repellent, because people are starting to understand that non-repellents work really, really, really well to eliminate bugs. They work really well on most any bug. The only time you would want to use like a repellent pesticide is maybe around the outside of your home to keep things like spiders, ants, crickets, silverfish, bees, wasps, hornets, and stuff like that from getting in the house. Because what happens is, let's say I was a hornet and I'm flying along and I want to land on your windowsill, come in around your window. Because you've treated around your windowsill with a repellent pesticide, before I even touch the wall, I see the chemical. I'm like, oh, I got to get away from there. So you fly away and you don't actually land in the chemical. So that's what a repellent is for. A repellent is actually to keep bugs away, which works really good if you're trying to combat things coming in from outside. But it doesn't work so good if you're trying to get rid of bugs that are already in your home. So I hope I answered your question. I know this was a little long-winded. But Heidi says, my mother has been painting the apartment with honey and the bed bugs are gone. Okay. Just Trent, do you use bedbug killer? How long do you use Crossfire before changing products? Okay, Carla, I'm not exactly sure what your question. How long do you use Crossfire before changing products? I'm not really sure what you're asking. I only use Crossfire. I don't really rotate it. I have a tank that I have specifically for Crossfire. I now have a tank that's specifically for things like Alpine WSG and other chemicals that I use. So I don't really rotate out Crossfire. I've never had problems with a chemical resistance to Crossfire. The only reason you would want to rotate your chemicals is because of chemical resistance. And chemical resistance means that the bed bugs aren't actually dying from Crossfire anymore. They're resistant to it. And if they're not resistant, there's no reason to switch the chemicals. Eyes to See says, I'm listening. What was the other chemical called that was not Crossfire? Apprehend, but they won't sell it to you. They won't sell Apprehend to you. Because you have to have a license to buy it. They will not sell it to you. Other exterminators will use it, and it is effective, but it's the problem with Apprehend, and one of the reasons that it isn't effective, and when people have problems using it, is if the room isn't properly prepared. So in order to eliminate bed bugs with Apprehend, you have to treat the band all the way around the bed, and you have to treat the baseboards, and you can't really miss a gap, because if you miss a gap, that's a gap that possibility bed bugs could live and not come into contact with Apprehend. But what Apprehend does is it's a fungal spore that attaches to the exoskeleton of the bed bug and kills it that way. That's how it kills it. It almost like it kind of eats the bug. It's a parasite to the bug, and it kills the bed bug that way. So that's how Apprehend works. I would take the encasements off. Jabril, I would take the encasements off of your bed, treat your bed, and leave them off, because you don't want to cover up the chemical. You want to leave the chemical exposed so that the bed bugs have to crawl through it to get to you. James says, DE food grade did get rid of my bed bug trouble. Well, the problem, this is the biggest issue with diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is a irritant to your lungs. It causes problems with COPD. It causes problems with asthma. It causes problems with it causes lots of issues with breathing. Okay, and DE is probably one of the most misapplied pesticides that I have ever seen people try to use on their own. And the reason that I don't recommend using it is because you're more likely going to hurt yourself with it than actually do any good. And for people that have gotten rid of their bug problems using diatomaceous earth, that's great. But the problem is that when I go into homes and I see the way that people have misapplied it because of YouTube channels that claim it's the miracle since sliced bread. It's everywhere. It's all over everything. I mean, I've come out of homes and it looks like I just sneezed flour all over my body. I mean, it's just so, it gets on everything, and there's no way you can avoid breathing that stuff in. So that's why I don't recommend diatomaceous earth. Not for the person that just doesn't understand how to do their own pest control. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help educate you and show you. And I've got videos showing how to use dust properly. And so I'd recommend you go through my channel and try to find that and look at that video. How many times, let's see, Samantha says, can bedbugs live and lay eggs in a plush carpet? Bedbugs don't lay eggs in a heavily trafficked area. So in the middle of the room, they won't lay eggs there. But they might lay eggs under the bed, and the eggs might fall down into the carpet. But they're going to lay eggs typically on box springs, bed frames, your headboard, your footboard. So basically all over your bed. And they'll lay eggs behind baseboards. What happens is bedbugs don't like the vibration that people give off when they travel through a room. So they try to run away from those areas. So they don't like to live in like the middle of the carpet. Like fleas will live in your carpet, but bedbugs won't live in your carpet. They like to get near something in like your bed. Just Trent says, how many times do we have to treat with crossfire? Until you get rid of your bed bugs. About once a month is how often you treat. And some people, it does take more than one treatment. Usually no more than 3, but it can take... I've known a lot of people that have messaged me and said they got rid of bed bugs with just one treatment. So I know it works with just one. Most of the jobs I do, I get rid of them with just one. But I've been killing bed bugs for over 21 years, so I just know what I'm doing, and I can go in and kill bed bugs pretty easily. Okay, James says, Jason, thank you for helping us. Samantha says, would they case dark discoloring? Would they cause? Okay, would they cause dark discoloring along the bottom of furniture? I guess they could if there's a lot of them. They typically leave little brown specks all over the bottom of the furniture, like little brown black specks, because they eat blood, so it's typically black little specks like pepper flakes, and they can smudge, and it looks like smears, like oil smears. Jabril says, but I truly didn't see the bugs go away for a long time until I put the encasements on. James, yes, it does hurt breathing if you get it in your lungs. I used a sprayer, mattress crease. So, and I never recommend using dust on a mattress. I never, and you know, it's funny. So, let's see. Let me see if I can pull up. Actually, let me run for just a minute. I'm going to be right back. Sorry, I drink too much water. But anyway, I was gonna go look up. Now I can't remember what I was doing for. I had to go to the bathroom. I went before stream, and it's only been 30 minutes. I had to go again because I drink a lot of water. So that's my water cup right there. That's 32 ounces. I drink like 10  10 of those a day. So anyway, let me see. 10 of those a day. 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 10 of Diatomaceous earth. So D, eat food. Grade. DE. Powder. For bed bugs. Okay. So I wanted to read the label because okay, so let's show you this here. Let me go ahead and share my screen again with you. So this is on Chewy. Let's get some pet stuff. All right, so we go, this is DE right here. This is the one they show on their website. So if you scroll down, and it's only $15. It's really cheap, right? It's like, wow, that is cheap. Crossfire is like $50 a bottle. You gotta refill my bladder. Sorry. So we scroll down, and this is food grade diatomaceous earth. Now I know this is for pets and all, and for fleas, things like that's what they typically use it for. It's a chemical-free organic powder made from 99.9% pure silica. Okay, now this is something I try to explain to people about DE, is that it's a silicate. It is made of 99.9% pure silica. All right, absorbs litter box moisture and eliminates smells. Can also be used in small doses as a dietary supplement to your pet's diet, so you can ingest it. Consistent dosage can result in an improved coat, appetite, metabolism, and digestion. Will never expire if properly stored, which is true. It never goes bad as long as you keep it dry. Precautions. Food grade diatomaceous earth is a fine powder. If you have a sensitivity to dust, use an approved respirator and goggles whenever you plan to apply large amounts, which is all I've ever seen people do with bed bugs, is apply large amounts. Work areas should be equipped with adequate dust collection or exhaust ventilation. Okay, so they're telling you, even though it's a chemical-free organic powder, it's so organic and wonderful and ooh, we love it, but they admit that you need to apply it in a very well ventilated area, and if you have problems breathing in dust, which human beings have problems breathing in dust, you should use a respirator. So that's why you don't want to use DE for pest control. People will take it and put it all in their carpets, and then you run a vacuum cleaner over it and it'll stir it up in the air and you will breathe it in. It's not safe. But as far as ingesting orally, there's never been a link to it hurting anybody orally. But breathing it in, it's a silicate. So things that are in the silica family are diatomaceous earth, sand, glass. You know, sand is glass. It's made from a silicate, which is sand. So that's why it kills the bug. So the bug crawls through it and it causes abrasions in their body and they dehydrate, because bugs have an exoskeleton that kind of seals everything in like a Ziploc bag. And if you cut holes in it, the fluids leak out. And that's how you kill bugs with a silicate. Semexa is a silicate. So that's another thing I get lots of questions about. So let's look at Semexa. Hit caps lock. All right, Semexa versus diatomaceous earth. So we're not going to do that though. Let's look at label. So this is a PDF right here. All right, Semexa. Okay. Active ingredient is silicon dioxide as amorphous silica. It's 92.1% silica. It's silica. All right. It's also a silicate. So that's what Semexa is. It's very similar to diatomaceous earth. It's not the same. It's just similar. And so I don't agree with people using dust unless they've had experience and they understand how to apply it without harming other people. So I have gone into homes and I have used insecticide dusts. I've used, back when they had Durazban dust, I've used Durazban dust. You don't want to breathe that in. It's a pesticide. I've used diatomaceous earth. I've used, diatomaceous earth, Durazban dust, Sevin dust, alpine dust, lots of pesticide dust, boric acid, that's a dust. And I'm really careful when I apply it. I always wear gloves. I wear a dust mask or a respirator. I'm very, very, very careful when I'm applying dust because you really have to be. You have to have a respect for it. And I feel like when people advertise it as like a food grade product, they get this false sense of security that here, this thing right here, because it says food grade, because it can be eaten, which not all things that say food grade on them can be eaten, but because it says it's food grade, that somehow makes it safer, but it really doesn't, because you can get food grade peroxide too, and you don't want to drink that either. No one wants to drink peroxide. It would kill you. So just because it says food grade doesn't mean it's safe, because a lot of people will say, well, I use diatomaceous earth food grade. That doesn't matter. It's still harmful. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and hide that again so it makes the chat show up a little bit easier to read. And Semexa is not good with crossfire because Semexa is a silicate and bed bugs do not like to crawl through them. They try to avoid them. And crossfire, you want them to crawl through them. Even though people will use Semexa in conjunction with crossfire, I don't recommend it. I don't think it's going to give you as good a job than just using crossfire. There are places you can use dust. You can use dust in wall voids, places where the bugs, where you can't spray crossfire inside outlet cover. So you can take an outlet cover off and you can puff some Semexa or diatomaceous earth inside the wall and then put the outlet cover back on the wall so it's not in the room. And that's places you can't spray, because if you sprayed a liquid into that hole, you would cause a fire or a short circuit. You don't want to do that. Man, there's a lot of people in here tonight. 22 viewers. Is that how many I've got? Holy cow. Man, this is the most I've ever had watching me at one time. I should be, I guess, nervous, but I'm not. I like to talk. So Molly says, I almost eliminated them. I spent a few days without them. It's like that. Perhaps I missed a nest somewhere. How do you know where they're nesting so you can spot treat? Okay, so I don't really go and search out the nests of bed bugs unless they're on beds or the furniture that I'm going to be treating, or around the baseboards I'm going to be treating, or the closets. Typically the places I treat. So if you've got closet doors in your bedroom where you maybe have the accordion doors or a sliding door, the rails that hold the door in place, you want to treat around those rails. You want to treat around curtain rods where they attach to the wall. If you've got a real severe problem, you really want to treat basically everywhere. You want to treat everywhere possible that you can think of that bed bugs would hide. And that's not necessarily going and searching for a nest. You just treat all the cracks, treat all the crevices, treat your beds and your box springs, treat your couches, love seats, lazy boys. I take the pillows and flip them upside down on the couch. If the pillows are removable, I treat the zippers around the cases. So you want to make sure you treat all of that, and lay in your bed. The bed bugs are going to come out looking for you, and when they do, they'll die. They'll crawl through the bed that's been treated and they'll die. After I went a while without seeing them, I think I got the nest because big ones and all sizes came up to die. Now I see lots of little ones. Help, thanks, appreciate your show. So the little ones will hatch. So what happens is bedbug eggs hatch on a 6 to 10 day life cycle. On a 6 to 10 day hatch cycle. The nymph does not bite when they hatch from the egg. They wait a week to 10 days to bite you. And what they do is they grow. Okay, so they get bigger. Like when a baby is born, they slowly get bigger, and 2 weeks after leaving the hospital, the baby is much larger than it was when it was originally born. So bed bugs are the same way. So when they hatch out of an egg, they slowly begin to grow larger. And as they grow larger, their exoskeleton needs to be shed because they need to grow a new one. And so they'll shed their skin much like a snake will shed its skin. And so as they grow larger and larger, and the only reason they feed is they engorge on blood for the energy they need from the blood in order to last another 6 to 10 days after they shed their skin. So it gives them the energy they need to shed their skin, and then they wait a whole another week as they grow more, and they shed their skin again. So they go, that's called an instar. When a bug has an instar phase, that means they're shedding their skin before they become an adult, and they have to reach a certain size before they shed their skin. Roaches have instars, bedbugs have instars, stink bugs have instars, lots of bugs have instars where they have to shed their skins. Bedbugs only have 5 instars. After they've shed their 5th and final skin, that is when they can actually lay eggs. That's when they're considered a mature adult. That's when they're going to lay eggs, and it takes them about 60 days, between 45 and 60 days, to reach that level where they're ready to lay eggs again. And then it starts the cycle all over from the beginning. So what I recommend is treating once a month with crossfire. You can treat every other week if you're really concerned, in order to try to catch those eggs right as soon as they hatch, so you have a nice potent chemical right there ready for them when they hatch. Because I figure on 14 days, from the day I spray to the 14th day, that's when all of the little bitty babies that have hatched out are coming out to get a meal. And so if I'm going to treat again before a month is up, I treat in 2 weeks. So if that answers your question. I know that was a lot, but I hope I answered your question. So, James, when I used DE, I didn't know about crossfire until I seen your YouTube channel. Question. I'm thinking about taking care of bed bugs with a flamethrower. What are the spots I should hit first around the house? I was thinking baseboards. Thoughts? Come on now. I'm trying to help people here. Where would you hit first if you were going to use a flamethrower for bed bugs? Let's say you were an exterminator and you were going in to kill bed bugs and you wanted to use a flamethrower. Do you think that's an effective form to get rid of bed bugs?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, because heat doesn't work. Yeah, right.
I mean, you have to burn the whole house down. Right?
You'd have to burn the whole house down, and they might even still live through that.
Right.
Yeah, if the temperature doesn't get hot enough, they're not going to live through that. So, Heidi Jensen says, are they going to sleep when it is cold outside? Maybe the honey was a bad idea. Will snow kill them? No. No, snow will not kill bed bugs. How long can a bed bug live without feeding? 18 months. Some claim a bed bug can live 3 years, but 18 months is the consensus. They have found, there was a study, I really wish I could find the study because I read about it when it first came out, but there was a study on bed bugs where some guy had been studying them for 3 years and he still had the same bed bugs that hadn't fed in 3 years. And they were still alive. So I know people have gotten them to live up to 3 years without a blood meal, but the typical is 18 months. When the bed bugs first hatch, their first feeding is the fecal matter where the bigger ones had clustered. That's correct. That is correct. They don't actually bite a person at all. And that's the same thing with cockroaches. If cockroaches, when they hatch from an egg and they're just in the nymph stage, in the first couple instars, they eat only other cockroach poop. So a lot of the best roach bait actually transfers into the poop so that when the baby roaches eat the poop, they die. So that's why baiting works so good on cockroaches. Susan says, if I've had a mattress cover on the mattress since before getting bed bugs, should I still take it off to treat? Yes. Yes, because you can wash it. So a mattress cover is like a sheet. It's like a fitted sheet, except it has a zipper. So you can take it off and wash it. So I recommend taking it off, washing it, killing all the bed bugs that are living on the mattress encasement, treat your mattress, leave the mattress encasement off until after the bed bugs are dead, then you can put it back on. So that's what I would do, personally. Is there odor with crossfire safe around pets? My kitty odor. Is there an odor with crossfire? There is a little bit of an odor when it's first mixed. It has a weird pesticide smell to it. It's not bad. It doesn't smell. Once you've applied it, you can't even tell you've applied it. So, but it does smell while you're spraying. It does have a weird kind of an odor. It is safe to use around children and pets. It's not really effective on mammals. It's really safe to use around people. And it can be used anywhere, really, that people are. It can even be used on things like your it can be used in hospitals. It can be used on hospital beds. It can be used all over the place. Napalm. So you're going to use napalm. Well, the thing is, heat's just not very effective on bed bugs. I don't want to give you the impression that you can go use a heat flamethrower and kill your bed bugs. What is a good price for getting an exterminator to come out for one room? Don't get an exterminator to come out and spray just one room. You're wasting your money. I mean, that's all right. So the thing about bed bugs, and this irritates me. Okay, this specific question. I'm not irritated by you, but this specific question, and the reason that this gets to me is because a lot of your exterminators locally. So here in Lynchburg, where I live, there are, and I live in Lynchburg, Virginia, by the way. There are exterminators here that will cut prices as low as possible by giving people single room prices. And they'll say, we can come out and we can do your bedroom for $250, or we can come out and we can do your bedroom for $300. And it's really cheap compared to like $1,200 or $700 or whatever you're planning on spending on your bed bug solution. But these guys that are just doing the single bedrooms, they're going to get the sale because it's really cheap. And they can come in and they can grab up the work and do a whole lot of single bedroom jobs. But the problem is that if single bed bug jobs worked, where you could just do one room, the thing is that bed bugs, how did you get the bed bugs? All right, so people used to get bed bugs from hotel rooms. People would go into a hotel room with a luggage bag, sit it in the floor, it would pick up the bed bug eggs on the bag, they'd carry it out, and then the bed bugs would hatch in their homes, and they had bed bugs in their home. That was the most common way that people got bed bugs like 10, 15 years ago. It's very common to pick them up on your shoes, on your pants, on your clothing, on your luggage, on anything that's been in the room that you're transporting through the house. If you're taking your sheets to go and launder them, the eggs can fall off in the floor. And so to just do one room is a waste of money. You need to treat the whole house. That's what you need to do. And if it means you need to maybe save up some money so you can afford to be able to pay somebody to do it, then that's what you need to do. Or you can watch my channel and you can learn how to do it yourself. I teach people how to kill bed bugs on their own all the time. I've got 28 viewers in my channel right now because I'm giving good advice. Because this is what I do all the time. For the last 4 years, I've given people free advice. It's free. I don't ever charge anything to give free advice online. YouTube, it's always free. I sit here once a week, every Thursday night for free. Now, you can hire me on consultations. I answer the phone and I'll talk to you, but I have very specific hours that I can only do that. It's typically between like 7 and 8:30 at night. That's the only time slot I have available because I have a family that I like to spend time with. But every Thursday night, I try to take some time out of my day to sit here and answer questions for free. So that's what I'm here for. Molly, I would keep spraying. If they're almost gone, you might be able to get rid of them before they breed again. I would spray again. James said, I had my house treatment for fleas 2 weeks ago. They're gone, but my cats will not use their cat towers anymore. I don't understand why. Probably because they treated your cat towers. Because cat towers are covered in carpet, and you need to treat those because the fleas will be there. They should start using them again, though. It takes 3 weeks for the fleas to completely die off. So, to completely die off, typically 2 to 3 weeks. And after that, the chemical's not going to stay effective forever, and the cats will eventually use their towers again. I recently saw your video about springtails, and you recommended Talstar. I saw that it can be used for general perimeter treatments. I also have read you should rotate pesticides. Is this true? It depends on what you're trying to get rid of. With perimeter treatments, Talstar is not the best pesticide. I don't really care for Talstar, but it works really good on springtails. Talstar is okay for spiders and things, but personally, I would not recommend it. There are better pesticides for perimeter treatments, like Alpine or something like that works better. It lasts longer, it does a better job, and it has a more variety of things it can kill, but springtails are not on the label for Alpine. And can they get inside? They will kill. Now, Alpine will kill springtails, but they're not on the label. So, you need to make sure you're spraying for something else. If you're trying to kill springtails, spray the house for ants. If a few springtails die, that's what happens. But a lot of times with springtails, all you have to do is get rid of the moisture and the dampness around the house, and the springtails will disappear. That video I made on springtails, I did specifically for people that weren't having problems with moisture, which I have run into, where the yard, like they water their yard, and the yard is damp, and the springtails get in. Can they get inside a mattress cover? Yes. Bedbugs can get inside a mattress cover. I've seen them do it. I know they can do it. They can't get in every mattress cover, but they can get in some. James, I heard you can get bed bugs at movie theaters. Yes, I actually did a house where the lady got bed bugs from a movie theater. I treated her house. Molly says, thank you for your show. Eyes to See says, you're awesome. Thank you. You're going to give me a big head. James. Yes, that's absolutely right. You can get bed bugs on mass transit. Absolutely. It's very common. It's really common on school buses. So if your kids have started going back to school, school buses are pretty bad for bed bugs. Appreciate the support. Bed bugs are no fun. Missy Johnson said, is Diatomaceous earth? I don't know what that is. The OOD to kill bed bugs. I don't recommend Diatomaceous earth to kill bed bugs. You could go back, rewind back. I have a big long spiel about Diatomaceous earth. I actually show the bag and I explain why it's not safe. James says, is it true that if you use the right pesticide and spray the right spots, bed bugs are not hard to get rid of? Absolutely. This is what I'm here teaching you about. This is how to do this right. So, man, I'm really fired tonight. 25 people in here still. You guys want to watch a boring guy sit here and talk about bugs? But, oh. So I had a busy day today. I didn't get to kill any bed bugs today, though. No bed bug work today. Just ants. And then stink bugs. Molly says, any special spray to put on the skin to prevent bites? Oh man, see, that's a hard one to say. I've heard off works to keep them off, but as far as to prevent bites, I don't honestly know of anything. Samantha, I wouldn't want to sleep in off either. That sounds nasty. Samantha says, what would you recommend to be the best way to get rid of spiders in an unfinished basement? One of the best chemicals that I have found that works on spiders is like something like Alpine. So let me show you. And I've got a lot of this stuff. So if you go below, I don't know if it's showing. Does it show? Let me see if it shows. It does show my... Yeah, it shows. It's there. Okay, so if you go down... Actually, let me show you guys, because I want to show you. Because this is something that a lot of people don't know I have, and I want to show you so you know I've got it. Let me see. How do I do? Let me share my screen again. So it has the Diatomaceous earth from where I was looking at it before. So let's go to Amazon.com/shop/Green Acres Pest Control LLC. And for those interested, I'm going to copy that right here. Sign into chat. Let me see. Can I do it over here? Will that post? No, it did not post. How do I get it to post there? Bedbug show. There it is. Let's do it here. There you go. So that's a link to my shop. So if you go there, and it's going to be kind of hard to read it with the chat over top of it. I'm sorry about that. Actually, let me see if I can just... Well, can't really do it very well. So, because I've got Oh, man, you guys are really... Let's see if I can I shrink it a little bit? I can. Good. Alright. So this is my store. Now, let me explain to you how Amazon does things. So Amazon does I guess it's considered like an affiliate type program. So what you do is you sign up with Amazon and you basically advertise their products or whatever is sold on Amazon, and they give you like 3%. It's not like a big sales commission or anything like that. So I'm not making a lot of money off of this at all. This is just something I use to try to help you guys and to help YouTube and try to push this internet presence that I've got going on here. But so this is my page on different bugs that I recommend. So different treatments that I actually recommend for the control of different bugs. So I've got bird mites, I've got stink bugs, springtails, cockroaches. I've got bedbug control in Canada, and this is what I really wanted to show you, is that I actually have a page for Canada and New York, because the chemicals that you can buy everywhere else, you can't buy in Canada or New York. So that's why I have that specific one. I've got mouse and rat control, termites, I've got bedbug supplies, so this is my bedbugs, flea control, spider control, and ant control. So this is spider control right here. So if you click there, it'll bring you to this list. And now I've got a B&G on everything because I love B&Gs. That's what I use to apply all my pesticides. It'll last forever. My dad still has his original B&Gs that he bought when he started his company back in the 80s. So I love B&G products just because it's a professional tool and I like it. These are granules. These other two here, these are different types of granules. I recommend treating them around like the soil around the outside of the house. And this is Alpine WSG. This is what I actually recommend for spider control. It's really, really, really good for spiders. It says here it kills ants, carpenter ants, harvester, it's lots of ants all over the Asian lady beetles. So if you have problems with those, centipedes, crickets, earwigs, fleas, German roaches, houseflies, millipedes, mosquitoes, paper wasps, pill bugs. So it's got lots of things on the label, and there's more than just that. So if you actually get the label and read it, there's more than what's listed right here on the front. But yeah, it's actually really good for the control of spiders. So that's what I recommend. Do you deal with water bugs? Okay, so someone asked me a question about water bugs on one of my videos, and it may have been you, but oops, Oriental roach. So let's see if I can let me just make this big. I'm gonna make this big for a minute. So there's Oriental cockroach. People call those water bugs, but that's not a water bug. That's a cockroach. See? That's a cockroach. A lot of people get those this time of year, and they call them water bugs because they like to get in around water and in your drains. So, but it's actually an Oriental cockroach. A water bug looks like this. This is a water bug. See how big that is? Look how big that thing is. Those things are huge. They're gigantic. They are really quite large. If you see that finger right there, that's actually a really good representation of the size of a water bug. So, see, you're just pointing at it. It's huge. It's huge. So that is an actual water bug. Water bugs are also called toe biters, and they will burrow in swampy, marshy, watery areas, and they eat fish, believe it or not. So that's an actual water bug. Oriental cockroaches are not water bugs. They're cockroaches. And Alpine will kill roaches. Alpine does a really good job on all kinds of roaches. Yes, but water bugs are huge. Real water bugs. And a lot of people don't know what water bugs are. A lot of people call cockroaches water bugs just because they find them around a water source. Tab says, I treated my room on 8/17 and the house on 8/28. Now a bite here and there. They were not bad. I had to hunt for them. I have not seen any. Do I treat again? If you're still having problems with bites, I'm not Maybe I'm misunderstanding. They were not bad. I had to hunt for them. If you have not seen any and you haven't been bit anymore, I wouldn't worry about treating until, I mean, if you get another bite, treat again. That's what I would do. I would just give it a chance. And I'm not sure if you can get crossfire in Norway or not, Heidi. The only thing I can tell you to do is if you go to my site and you try to order it there, it will tell you if it cannot ship to you. And if it cannot ship to you, then you cannot get it there. Yeah, B&Gs are fantastic. I love B&Gs. I have three. I actually need to buy a fourth one. I want to get a single gallon from my, or not a single gallon, a half gallon for my daughter when she comes with me. I started in pest control when I was 6 and doing just small things here and there with my dad. When I was 12, I started homeschooling and I went with him every summer. And even during the winter months and all the time on days that were really busy. And then when I was 17, I took over my own route and I've been working my own route for 21 years. And so actually almost 22 years that I've been working my own route. So, but yeah, I would recommend that if you can get crossfire, I would go with crossfire. There are alternatives. So the Harris Gold Label for pesticide, and it's not really showing here. I wanted to see if I could find it so I could show it to you. Yeah, but anyway, the Harris Gold Label pesticide, and it actually says Gold Label on it. It's not gold, it's Gold Label. That's not it. See, they've got like these yellow ones. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So these are the Harris products I'm looking at right now, because I want to find the one specific to bed bugs. But see, they've got all kinds of different products. This, I believe, is the one. The Harris 5-minute bedbug killer. Kills bed bugs in all life stages 5 minutes after direct contact. So let's see if we can pull the label up on this. Ingredients. I'm not seeing. They're not telling you what the ingredients are. Oh, let's see if I can just zoom in. Yep, there you go. So see those ingredients right there? That's the same thing. It's in Crossfire. So if you can't get Crossfire, you can buy this. This will work. Not all Harris products are Crossfire. So make sure you read the label. The label matters. The active ingredients, clofanidin, metafluthrin, and pibronyl butoxide, those 3 ingredients make Crossfire. That's what Crossfire is. So if you're going to get a Harris product, and see, it comes in a sprayer, so you got a sprayer right there. It should work to kill your bed bugs. If all you're going to do is kill bed bugs, you don't necessarily have to buy a B&G. You can just buy this, and it's everything you need right there. And then when you're done, you throw it away. You can get rid of it. So. Did you ever think about going to college, assuming you had the time to become an entomologist? I've been to college. I hate college, and I like pest control. I like killing bugs. I've learned a lot about bugs, and if I have anything that I need to learn about them, I can look it up, I can read about it, and I can ask people, because I know a lot of people in the field, because I've been in it all my life. And so if I have a question, I've got beekeepers, I've got lots of people on the Rolodex that I can call and ask questions if I need to. So I've never really been interested in becoming an entomologist. It's just, I just don't want to spend all the time in all the college and all the reading and all the courses, and I just don't like to do that. But what I like to do and what I enjoy doing is I like to get up in the morning, I like to go out to people's houses, I like to take care of their bug problems, whatever they might be, rats, mice, snakes, all kinds of things that I deal with, and I get satisfaction out of just doing that. And that's what I enjoy. And then, of course, I come in here and I sit with you guys in the evenings and I talk with you about all the kinds of bugs and stuff I kill and how I can help you get rid of bugs too. So this is what I live for. I live for pest control. Entomology is not really something I'm interested in. How do we thank you for helping us? Just get rid of your bugs. I mean, you can. I've got a donations tab and stuff like that if you want to really donate and stuff. But that's up to you if you want to do that. I never push donations. I never ask for donations. I like to help people. I don't mind. I had a lady that called me the other night. James. She was. I like snakes too. I don't mind snakes. Snakes don't bother me. But if I'm paid to kill them, I kill them. And she called me. She sat beside her refrigerator for over 3 hours waiting on me to get there because I could kill her snake. And it was just a baby snake. It was a baby black snake. It was, I had to kill that snake because she was going to hurt herself because she was so scared of the snake. And she cried when she found out that I'd come. I went out there at 8:30 at night. I didn't get home. Actually, no, it was 10:30. I didn't get to her house till after 10:30, and I got home after midnight because I had to go kill her snake. So, but I don't like to kill snakes. But, like I said, if the snake's going to hurt her, she's going to hurt herself, then the snake has to go. Besides, I joke with people. I said, yeah, a snake doesn't pay rent. So, what is that, Alicia? My wife is bored with me, I think. I think she's ready for me to log off of here. But I've had consistently 25 to 28 viewers tonight. People coming in. But never mind. You're busy listening to your podcast. You listen to your podcast. Just going over there. Usually she's sitting here poking her nose in, giving me all kinds of advice and trying to tell me what to say on the channel.
I'm sorry. Did you want me to listen to my podcast or did you want me to listen to you?
No, that's okay. You listen to your podcast. You enjoy your podcast. But yeah, black snakes will eat copperheads, and they'll also eat rattlesnakes too. And so if you have like black rat snakes near your house, they'll keep those snakes away. Yeah, if you buy, that's a good point. So if you really want to help me, and you want to, if you want to not help me but necessarily thank me, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, use my affiliate link and then go buy something. You don't have to buy. Like, so if you go to, let's see. Let me show you again. Let me do this again. If you go to Amazon.com/shop/Green Acres Pest Control LLC. If you go here, all right, and you click just up here in the chat, or you can't see it because bedbug shows in the way. But there's a chat up there, and the little search bar, and you search bed frame. There you go. Oh look, we got some beds. Oh, I like this one. I'm gonna buy this one. It looks like a weird kind of sled. Let's see, it's $250. I'm gonna buy that. That's great. I'm gonna buy that. I still get a cut because you've clicked my affiliate link before you bought anything else. So that actually does help me. So if you like to buy things on Amazon, you can just bookmark my affiliate link, go there and search there. And that will actually do kickbacks to me, and I will get a portion of, whatever you spend. So they give I really do think it's like 3%. It's like next to nothing, but it's what people were doing. And the reason I made an affiliate link in the first place is because I get a lot of questions about how to get crossfire, how to get alpine, how to get all the chemicals that I mentioned. And so they have this feature where you can add a storefront. And I was like, well, that's what I need. Then I can show everybody what I use. So like if you go to bird mites, if you go here to bird mites, this is all the stuff I recommend using. So you need to get rid of your birds because birds are attracted to your house. If they start living on your house, the bird mites will come. So you put these little spikes up and you get rid of your birds, and then you can treat around the areas with Sterifab, and you can kill all the organisms and stuff that are living around the birds, and you can treat with Suspend, and you can do all that, and that's all there, really easy to find. And so anytime that you ever, if anyone also, if you're on one of my videos and you need to know how to get rid of a bug and I make a video, I'll add them to this list because that just makes it easier for you guys to be able to find what you need when you need it. So mothballs in a vacuum. Let's see. Good night, Jason and wife. Good night, James. Time for stink bugs again. It seems impossible to control them. The mothballs in the vacuum cleaner was great advice. Thank you. Well, see, what happened was I knew I was going to get blamed for this because I never advise for people to put mothballs in their vacuum cleaner, but I have customers who do it. And so I mentioned it on my channel and people were like, hey, it's great advice. It worked really good. One of my customers put mothballs in their vacuum cleaner and it killed the stink bugs that got caught up in the vacuum cleaner. And I just happened to leak that out and tell people that that's what happened. And now people are saying, thanks a lot, it worked really good, but it wasn't my advice. It actually was just a story I had relayed about stink bugs. So, but yeah, it will actually kill them. If any bugs that get sucked up in your vacuum cleaner, if there's a mothball in there, it's going to kill them. But the problem is that mothballs produce a toxic vapor like paradichlorobenzene and naphthalene, and you don't want to breathe it in, and your vacuum cleaner will actually stir the smell up into the air. It smells horrible. But I won't lie and say that I've never put mothballs in a vacuum cleaner to kill stink bugs, because I absolutely have done it in my own house. So, because I used to have stink bugs horrible, and I would vacuum up any live ones that didn't survive, that didn't die in the chemical that I would treat. And I had a specific vacuum that I had mothballs in that I would vacuum the stink bugs up in, so they would die and they wouldn't come back, because they will make their way back out of your vacuum cleaner, believe it or not, if you don't suck them up before they're dead, or at least after they've crawled through a chemical or something. Amy says, I've just been lurking, but I can see how genuine you are with trying to help people just to help them. I had a bedbug scare. It turned out to be hives, but your calm, demeanored videos helped me stress less. Good. Great. That's good, Amy. I'm glad. Bed bugs are gone, but it still feels like something invisible is biting me. No evidence of bites or bugs. Okay, so there is a thing, and I'm gonna mention this because I'm not a doctor, but there is a thing that people get. It's a and what do you call it, Alicia?
What?
What is it that people get when they still think they're getting bit by bed bugs, but they're not? A phantom itch. I know it's called a phantom itch, but I thought there was an actual specific thing it was called, though, other than phantom itch. Anyway, it's a psychological, so it affects you psychologically. So if I'm sitting here and we're talking casually, and you start mentioning about how your daughter had horrible head lice, and you are just trying your best to get rid of the head lice, and you'll start to itch, and your head, that's what does it to me anyway. If I start talking about head lice, I have to scratch my head. I'm wearing a hat and everything now, but I scratch my head, and I'm thinking I've got, lice in my head, and I don't have them, but just talking about them makes me feel like I've got them crawling on my hair, because we did actually, when I was young, we had a louse issue in my parents' house. My sister got them, and we all had to have our hair washed, and it was awful. But yeah, it's actually, it causes almost like a PTSD or a phantom itch type thing, where it affects you, and you think you're still getting bit. So every time I do flea work, if I go into a house that I have treated for fleas, I automatically think they're on me, and I'm constantly checking my socks and I'm checking my pants to make sure I don't, even though the fleas are dead, it still psychologically affects me, and it makes me feel like my legs are itching, because I hate fleas. They eat me alive. I get hundreds of bites on flea work. I hate flea work. I charge more than anybody locally for fleas because I would rather them take the work. I just don't want to do the work. I hate fleas that much. I would rather not do the work than do flea work. But yeah, it is a stressful disorder that causes people to itch. Even though the bed bugs are gone and you can't find them, you'll still itch, and it's a miserable thing, but you can get over it. People, eventually you just forget all about it because you just have been so long without a bite, and you stop being affected by it anymore. I'm trying to get me a piece of candy. I've been talking so long, and my throat is getting dry. I'm going to start coughing, and everybody's going to think I have coronavirus. So, well, I'm going to have to log off. I try to keep these live streams to about an hour. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I hate to leave with 23 people still here hanging out, watching me. 25 now. But I've got to get to bed. I got to get out tomorrow and get some bug killing done. So I'm going to try to stream every Thursday night live to answer your questions. This is the third week in a row. It's been working out really well. My new setup and everything I've got going on here has been working just great for doing the live stream. So hopefully I'll be able to get you guys in a week and we can talk again. We can talk more. But for right now, I'm going to get out of here and I got to use the bathroom again anyway. So y'all have a good one. Talk to you later.